So today, we're going to dive into one of Jesus' most serious parables. It's a really short story, but its implications, well, they stretch from the ancient world right into our lives today and all the way to the end of time.
The story starts out simply enough. Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is like a huge dragnet. You know, the kind fishermen would cast from a boat and just sweep through the water? And here's the first detail that's absolutely crucial. This net, it doesn't distinguish. It doesn't pick and choose. It just collects everything in its path. Every single kind of fish, the good ones and the bad ones, all mixed up together.
Okay, now this is the moment where the story stops being just an ancient fishing tale and becomes our reality. Because you see, the time we are living in is the time the net is in the water. The gathering is happening right now, all around us. But here's the thing. That net isn't going to stay in the water forever. A moment is coming when it's finally full, when it gets pulled to the shore. And at that exact moment, the gathering stops, and a very deliberate, very final sorting begins.
To really get a grip on this, we have to understand where this story fits into the bigger picture. It's not just some random tale Jesus told. Its placement and its theme are everything.
The text from Matthew's Gospel is incredibly direct. As you can see, Jesus himself tells us what it all means. This is a story about the end of the age. This is actually the very last parable in a whole series of them, and it acts as the grand finale. It shifts the entire focus away from how the kingdom grows and puts it squarely on its ultimate conclusion, a final separation, a final judgment.
So what is this age that Jesus is talking about? Well, it's this period we're in right now, what the Bible calls the mystery kingdom. It's the time between his first coming and his eventual return. And this age, our age, is defined by that exact mixed condition of the net. The net is in the water, gathering both true believers and those who aren't, all living side by side. But the entire point of this parable is that this mixed-up state, well, it has an expiration date.
All right, now we get to a symbol right at the heart of this story that, honestly, most people just skim right over. But once you understand it, everything clicks into place. The net is cast into the sea. So, is that just a literal body of water, or is it something more? The answer to this question is what unlocks the parable's deeper prophetic meaning.
You see, in biblical symbolism, over and over again, the sea represents the nations of the world, the whole of humanity. So Jesus isn't just telling a quaint fishing story here. He's actually giving a prophecy about a coming judgment of all the nations. And that means the final sorting isn't based on what church you go to or what you say you believe. It's based on a true spiritual reality that only God can see.
So let's talk about the sorting itself, because the process Jesus describes is so methodical, so deliberate, and so final.
Now look closely at that second step. The fishermen sit down. Think about that for a second. This isn't a chaotic scramble. The act of sitting down implies calm, careful inspection. It's a picture of intentional, unhurried judgment. And just so there's no confusion about who's doing the sorting, Jesus says it plainly. The angels will come forth. This isn't a human job. It is a divine, angelic operation at the very end of the age.
And the outcome of this judgment is, well, it's absolute. There are only two categories here, and only two final destinations. The righteous are gathered into the kingdom. The wicked are cast away, excluded. There's no middle group, no third option. The separation is total.
Okay, so this is all about a future event. But what does it really mean for us, living right now while that net is still in the sea?
Here it is. This is the central takeaway of the entire parable. Simply being in the net is not enough. Just being part of the catch, being associated with the church, identifying as a Christian, that doesn't guarantee you're one of the good fish. This temporary mixed-up condition that we see all around us is going to give way to a final, perfect judgment. The net is still out there gathering today, yes, but this parable is a serious reminder that this situation has an end. A day of sorting is coming.
The net is still in the water, but the shore is getting closer every day. And so, the parable leaves us with this incredibly profound and personal challenge. The future sorting? It's a certainty. The only question left is where you and I will stand when it happens.
It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Grounded right in the words of Jesus himself. A final call to look past the temporary mixture of today and to really consider the permanent reality of tomorrow.